Most men spend their lives trying to escape prison, but that can't be said for the Dixon brothers. They returned to the prison to help Rick, but what would have happened if they did not? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's another theory here for The Walking Dead Season 3. And we need to talk about the Dixon brothers. We know what happened with them. Merle wasn't really invited back with the group. He had to go on his own. And Daryl was like, that's my brother, man. You can't leave Merle behind. So they venture off on their own. They encounter some Mexican family on the bridge. And after a bit of a debate, after a bit of an argument, Daryl was like, screw this, I'm going back to the prison. I might be the one walking away, but you're the one that's leaving again. Now, was he referring to the time where Merle left in Season 1, or is he referring to the time before this whole outbreak happened? We don't know, but Daryl is off. He's gone back to the prison. It looks like him and Merle are going their separate ways. We later see in the episode Rick is struggling. Rick is seeing Laurie again on the outside. He goes to investigate. He's getting attacked by walkers. It's not looking good for Rick Grimes. He doesn't even have his gun.
He doesn't have his gun. He has nothing. He's just got up against the wall by about 4 or 5 walkers. And things are not looking good for Rick. But then, who comes out of the bushes?
The cavalry. The Dixon brothers. Merle and Daryl make their entrance to the prison, and they just kill the walkers that are attacking Rick. And Merle gets a couple of lead pipe shots through the brain or whatever. So nice wee weapon kills
here. Arrow as well that let Rick know that the boys were back in town.
And yeah, the Dixon brothers saved Rick. But what would have happened if the Dixon brothers didn't return to the prison?
I think there's two theories, right? Without plot armor, Rick would have probably just got bit here and died. But realistically, with plot armor, someone from the prison would have probably just shot and killed them for a distance. But come on, I don't care if he's the main guy. Can he really outmuscle 5 walkers? Free on each to his arms?
Somebody with no name would have ran out and tried to pull the walkers off Rick, and they would have got fucking devoured instead. That's how the plot armor works. But look, if the Dixon brothers don't return at that moment, short term, it looks like Rick is dead. Realistically, if you take plot armor out of it, Rick ain't surviving that. He was struggling, he was outnumbered, he didn't have any free hands left to hold the walkers off, he didn't have any weapons. The likelihood is Rick would have died there. But if we take the short term out of it, if we take the plot armor out of it, let's just say Rick does survive. Rick manages to escape that scary moment and make it back inside the prison alive. He still has to deal with the governor. He still has to deal with the war that is about to happen. And you take the Dixon brothers out of the prison, and does Rick's side win that war? Now, you might be thinking, well, first of all, the real war doesn't even happen in Season 4. Merle's dead by then. And yeah, that leaves Merle gone. But I don't necessarily think that, because if we look at Season 3, we have Merle take out 8 members of Woodbury. Now, you can argue it doesn't really matter, because that is before the governor makes his attack on the prison. By the time the governor enters the prison, Merle's dead. However, I think Merle might have took out 8 decent members of Woodbury.
Who wouldn't have retreated in the finale?
Yeah, he would have been left with a better crew, so to speak. So I definitely think you can look at that point. Merle took out men that were more capable, and men that were better soldiers, and men that would have gave the governor a better chance in the winning the war. So Merle's certainly done that. I think you can argue that he maybe weakened the morale of Woodbury. And then when you look at the actual invasion, when the governor goes in and they do end up retreating, he starts chasing them down. Would that even have happened if Merle didn't take out the previous 8 men? I don't think so. That leaves to the governor going crazy. He shoots up his own team, and we see that Schubert and Martinez decide, you know what, fuck this. I am going to leave him. So they leave him. He's killed everyone else. He gets the new group, but we know what happens when he gets his new group. Schubert's already dead by this point. Governor kills Martinez. He then kills one of the new brothers, the guy who used to serve in the army. Mick. Not Mick. Is Mick not the good?
I know you're right. Mick is Mitch. Mitch is the good guy.
Nick. So he kills Nick.
It was a mixture of both their names, wasn't it?
It was. And then, I mean, at this point, when we get into Season 4, Too Far Gone, if you look at the war that happens, I think Daryl was probably the MVP of that war.
Yep, blowing up tanks.
Yeah, I mean, he took out the majority of that crew. But again, you look at that crew, and it wasn't as strong as the Woodbury crew. So, again, what would have happened if the governor was attacking the prison in the mid-season 4 finale? What would have happened if he'd done it with the crew that he had late season 3.
Yeah, it would have
before Merle eliminates 8 of them.
Yeah, imagine if Woodbury had the tank. That would I think that would have pushed it in favour of Woodbury. But without the Dixon brothers, man, Rick's group.
Yeah,
what hope would they have had?
You take away Merle, and first of all, Rick's probably dead. Even if Rick's not dead, Governor's got 8 of his better men still alive. And then you take away Daryl, and he is the one that got the most kills in the prison war. So I think if you take away the Dixon brothers, there's a very good chance Rick doesn't survive season 3, and there's pretty much no chance, in my opinion, that the prison group defeat the Governor.
Yeah, no chance whatsoever. The Dixon brothers were a crucial part of either war, the Woodbury one, or I don't even know what you call the Rivers, not the Riverside. What do you even call that other group in season 4? What was their name? The Governor's group, the crew, the tank crew. Whatever you want to call them, man, the Dixon brothers were a pivotal part of this. And Rick, as we said, probably would have died. I mean, you've got Herschel as well, not doing too good for all this chaos. And looking back at that season 3 finale, I think it is pretty embarrassing that the entire fleet of Woodbury fled the prison after a couple of rounds of machine gun fire. Do you not think so?
What did they expect was going to happen?
Well, no, we talked about that in the review, but if you think of it, it was only Maggie and Glenn that were actually shooting at them.
Yeah, but they all turned up with guns. What did they think? Did they think they were going to have a friendly discussion? When you look at it...
You want to have a debate, Rick?
I do think that season 3 finale was crap. I think they wanted to drag out the Governor thing into season 4, and therefore that's why they done that. With hindsight, if season 4, episode 8, if Too Far Gone was the season 3 finale, I think you could make a case season 3 is the best season of The Walking Dead.
Easily. And I think maybe what they should have did, they should have compromised and maybe had season 3 be a battle that didn't take place at Woodbury or the prison. It could have been like halfway or something. I don't know how you write it, but the fact that they were actually in the cell blocks way about, I mean, well, we're talking here, I'd say we're talking about near, 50 people? Something like that. And they lose to 2 people in flashbangs?
Did the season 3 finale even need to be an actual war?
No, it didn't.
Could episode 15 not have been the finale?
Yeah, like, there's no real need, to be honest, for a 16-episode season.
So yeah, that's it, guys. I don't even mean that, but I mean, like, could they not have just positioned it so that was the ending? Daryl putting down Merle, or is that not big enough?
I think it is. I think season 3's finale would have looked so much better if it was that Daryl finding Merle rather than what we got. A cheap-ass war.
With Rick in the end bringing all the Woodbury people to the prison.
Let's be real, right? Andrea being found dead, or like putting a bullet in herself because she's bit, I just didn't care for that as much as I think Daryl finding Merle's fucking massive, because they're 2 main characters. They're 2 brothers.
Well, the Andrea stuff was not bad.
Yeah, that was
but it was better than the so-called fight that didn't happen.
Yeah, that was definitely the better half of the episode, guys. But that is it, broke down, discussed. The Dixon brothers were a crucial part of Rick's plan. And
yeah, so for me...
That's what I like about Rick, though. Merle saved his life and he let him in. Rick's fair.
I think, no, Rick is...
What you see with Rick is what you get, damn it.
I think without the Dixon brothers, Rick would have died and the prison group would have been wiped off the face of the earth. Alright, let's say Merle doesn't even... You just take the Dixons and Rick out of the prison group. Who have they got? At that point, T-Dog's already... Is Glenn the leader?
Glenn.
Is Glenn the man that's going to fend off the Governor? No, he had rage, and you could argue that, I mean, he was up for it, and he wanted it.
But he didn't have the manpower.
He didn't have the manpower.
It was like
he didn't have any men, like, to be fair.
Just women. An old man and a kid called Carl.
So yeah, I don't think it would have worked out too good for them, but we'll never know, because the Dixon brothers did come back and they saved the day, and unfortunately Merle died a couple of episodes later. That's it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Entertainment. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Lots of Walking Dead content on the channel. Lots of content in general on the channel. So get the videos watched, and we will catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.